What's going on, traders? How we doing? Welcome to Money Making Mitch. You guys already know I'm here and you guys are the money mob. As I heard, the money squad wasn't as good, so we're going to go with the money mob and we're going to stick with that. On today's show for Money Mitch, we're going to be going into earnings, some notable earnings, Amazon. We're going to be going into the story that is Microvast. So I know if you guys are an MVIS fan, definitely hit me up. And also, we're going to have an interview with Adam Johnson from Bullseye Brief. And then lastly, we're going to be getting into our story stock industry, sports betting stocks, and housing stocks. So definitely stay tuned, guys. We got a jam-packed show, and welcome to Money Mitch. Welcome traders. How we doing? I'm Money Mitch. I want to see everybody start piling in here, guys. So definitely pile on in. Let's get all our fans in here. Looks like we only got 21 people. Looks like they're coming on through here. Now we got 35. Let's get it up there. So smash the like if you guys have seen Money Mitch before and you guys supporting me. I appreciate that. And so welcome, guys. Welcome, Zinger Nation. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, I'm at Story Investor. And for our TikTok fans, definitely check out Benzinga Clips. And like always, guys, I'm here to tell you guys about story stocks. The bull market has taken control, and it's not looking back. And there's always an opportunity out there. And I'm Money Mitch, and I'm here to help you find it. So let's talk a little bit about the market today and our market sentiment. And one of the things that I'd say, guys, is that another day where we're just fighting to break out. And I thought, after seeing those great reports that we got, the Apple and Facebook, that we would have that breakout. But it looks like we need some more earnings to push us through. And I think we're just going to get that. And it could just be tomorrow, guys. So I think you might have gotten your last little fake out. And so that's what I'm definitely going to be paying attention to. One of the things that I would say, guys, is that we definitely got some great earnings. But one of the things that was talked about on Thursday, guys, is that President Joe Biden on his 100th day in office, Wednesday evening, he made the first address to a joint session of Congress where he pushed his so far popular agenda, and which includes a $2 trillion infrastructure plan and also a $1.8 trillion plan for families, children, and students. It's looking like you're going to be able to go back to community college if you want to go, man. If you want to get it free, looking like Joe Biden's going to give it to you. So definitely, we saw that on the report. And one of the things that we're going to be paying attention to is I'm seeing some good tech earnings, so I'm going to be paying attention and seeing what we have today. So up next, one of the things that we're going to be talking about is who were the winners for today, who were the losers. But before we do that, I want to get into the next part here. I want to zoom in a little bit on this SPY so that we can go ahead and get a nice view here. So one of the things that we saw today is that we kind of approached that top trend line that I've been drawing, guys. And I drew that really off of that Harmy that you see there. And so we went back to that retracement right to the line and we bounced right off of it, right back up. That's actually a good sign for me. One of the things that I want to see is, can we get through this 422, 424 and really make a push maybe to 430? I don't want to keep trailing sideways because that'll mean that we get back into the channel and we can test this bottom line. If we test that bottom line, we could go down to, let's say, 406, 404. And I don't think anybody wants to see that move back down. So what we're going to do is we need to pay attention to see if we can break out through this 422 up there to the 430s on the overall market here, the SPY. So definitely keep your eyes on that as we keep moving forward. Next up, guys, we're going to get into some earnings. So stay tuned with us and we'll be right back.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
That's what I love about you guys. You know, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How we doing, traders? Welcome back. Welcome back. I wanted to give some shout outs in the chat. If you're new to the show, say hello, because I definitely like to communicate there with my chat. I'm seeing Born to Be Free, Dylan, Solar, Rick House, David. How we doing out there? Loving the appreciation. Keep it popping. You guys already know I do need a touchscreen. I'm working my way to getting one of those. You guys already know. So definitely smash the like button. If you want to go ahead and throw a super sticker in there, let me know, because I definitely can use a touchscreen. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're building, you know. I mean, what other show do you see on Benzinga looking this pretty? Woo! Look at the movement I got. This is in my house, guys. I'm working. I'm working. You guys already know. Yeah, the work expense. I agree. I agree. I might have to put it into play here. So definitely let Jason Raznick know on Power Hour that Mitch needs a touchscreen, man. That guy's killing it on Money Mitch. All right, guys, let's go ahead and smash the like button. Let's get up to a nice like goal today of 100 likes, and I'll go ahead and let you know which is my favorite housing stock between the two major players that I can tell you right now. So stay tuned, guys. We have a great show planned for you. Let's get into some earnings now and talk about what we saw today. And so today, guys, I mean, another day, guys, where in the morning we saw some good news and some bad news. So first things first, what was the bad news? The bad news really came from Caterpillar. You know, I expected to see a little bit better results here from Caterpillar as they trade in a hole after reporting strong Q1 results, but warning of semiconductor shortage that has hurt production at the major automakers and also could be affecting the company's ability to keep up with increasing customers' orders. So this is exactly what we don't want to hear. I was telling you guys, this is what you need to pay attention to on their earnings. How is this chip shortage really affecting their bottom line? As you can see, Caterpillar is letting you know it definitely is going to affect their bottom line as they're having trouble keeping up with the demand because of that production. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one. One of the things that I saw today was McDonald's. McDonald's also reported, guys, and published that finally, guys, sales have topped pre-pandemic levels. It looks like that new chicken sandwich kicked it off in McDonald's. If you like the chicken sandwich at McDonald's, let me know in the chat, because I've got to try it, but I'm more of a Chick-fil-A kind of fan. But I know there's a lot of Popeyes fans out there. The chicken sandwich challenge, I might have to do this live. Who knows? Tomorrow, stay tuned, guys. We're going to be doing happy hour Fridays, so it's going to be fun tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about one of the big boys, the big boy here after the close, Amazon. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys? They're going to kick some ass. They're going to kick some ass. And that's exactly what Amazon did, beating by more than $6 per share, guys. Their earnings $15.79 per share versus a $9.54 expected. I don't know who's doing these expected, but look at the revenue, 108.52 billion versus 104 billion expected. So they're just beat by just $4 billion, you know. And its first quarter results showed that the company's business continues to be buoyed by the pandemic. It's just getting driven by this pandemic, and the sales are soaring 44% year over year to that 108 that we just talked about. And so Amazon's guidance for the second quarter implies that it expects the momentum to continue. I see it out there. It's going to continue. And you know, one of the things is we got a comment here from Jeff Bezos. As Prime Video turns 10, over 175 million Prime members have streamed shows and movies in the past year. And streaming hours are actually up more than 70% year over year. I know there's a lot of people that were thinking that Amazon Prime Video was just getting kicked out of the water by, let's say, competitors like Netflix, Hulu. But as you can see here, they're not doing too bad, and one of the things is, to watch Prime Video, you have to be that Prime member, right? And they have over 200 million Prime subscribers now, guys, and 50 million more than it had at the start of 2020. And so this is very important to notice, guys. 50 million just by that pandemic, guys. And I think this is just going to continue as we continue to see the trends. I know that there was talks when the year started that video content would increase 150%. So I'm going to keep an eye out on the bottom line here for that kind of Amazon Prime Video. I've seen, I don't know about you guys. Did you guys see any Amazon Prime videos as of recently? There's a movie that came out. Let's see if anybody knows the movie that I was watching on Prime Video just about 2 weeks ago. So let me know, guys, if you guys watched a video on Prime Video in the chat. Definitely. I see the Chick-fil-A fans out there. Hit the like, guys. Hit the share button. Let them know Money Mitch is here to stay, and he ain't going nowhere, guys. So let's go ahead and let's talk about one last thing that I want to say is that we need to pay attention to how Amazon transitions from the pharmaceutical side. That's one of the sides that I haven't heard so much about. We had talks about them, really making moves in there, but I feel like that's gone away for a little bit. Let's see if that can come back, because I think that's like the only area that I could see them getting in now that could even drive them even further up. But we're seeing a breakout here, guys. I was calling Amazon at the beginning of the year when it was on that support near the 3,000, and now it's not just ridiculous. It's looking like it's going to rip and rip. We wanted to see the stock split. I know everybody wanted to see the stock split. Dennis was talking about on Premarket Prep. If you guys don't watch Premarket Prep, definitely check it out, guys. That's our flagship show there with Joel Conan, Spencer Israel, and Dennis Dick. But Dennis Dick said that split could hurt Amazon if they don't do it, And I think we need to hear this split happen, guys. I will be buying some shares if we get that split. I think everybody out there will be buying if we could get that split. So definitely let me know in the chat, guys, if you would take some Amazon if it did split. I would love to hear and see those comments. Let's go ahead and let's get into our next segment of today. Today, we're going to get into the story that is Microvast. So if you guys know what Microvast is, please let me know in the chat. And then after that, we'll be getting into our interview. Negative on the triple D. Well, you got to watch it. Dylan, can you grab that comment? Coming to America. Dylan knows exactly the movie I was watching. I wanted to test my viewers out there, and Dylan nailed it. So Dylan, hit me up, Mitch at Benzinga. I'm going to get you some swag, whatever you want from the store. Take a look, swag at benzinga.com. Anything you want, man, I'm going to go ahead and order that for you. So let me know. Hit me up, Mitch at benzinga.com, guys. All right, when we come back, guys, we'll get into that story that is Microvast. Taking a little swig right quick before the break. All right, guys, so welcome back. Let's go ahead and let's get into the story that is Microvast. So one of the things is, I know that you guys have probably seen that we've had a huge move in EV. It's a generational thing, guys. It's here to stay. The real question out there for all investors to ask themselves is, how quickly will we adopt these EVs. You know, we've been getting pushes by President Biden, you know, of mentions of tax credits and increase kind of infrastructure look for charging points. And that's why, you know, you're starting to see the interest really grow in Microvast here. And so one of the things that we did see is that also, of course, you know, with the help of some Reddit fans out there that we'll go into a little bit later, definitely drove this stock up. But today, it took a hit, guys. It took a hit. And there's a reason why. And one of the things that you guys cannot fall into is the hype. And with the hype, one of the things that you can do is if you got in before, let's say you got in before this run up in Microvast, one of the things that I would recommend is that if you got in before, you have to learn where is that profit taking, you know, the difference between what I call greedy and profits in the bank, money. You guys already know there's a reason why they call me Money Mitch. And that's because when I get that profits, and I usually shoot for 20 to 30%, I'll give you guys my sweet spot. Somewhere in between there, I shoot for in my trades. And when I see that, I take it. Just like that, guys. So today, the earnings came out, guys, and the revenue for the first quarter of 2021 was 0.5 million compared to 1.5 million for the first quarter of 2020. Microvision's net loss for the first quarter of 2021 was 6.2 million or 0.4 cents per share compared to a net loss of 4.9 million or 4 cents per share for the first quarter of 2020. The company ended the first quarter of 2021 with 75.3 million in cash and cash equivalent compared to 16.9 at the end of fourth quarter for 2020. And this was said by the kind of the CEO here, the chief executive here, Sumit Sharma. We remain on track in advancing our automotive LiDAR department and as a company completed a A-sample LiDAR hardware and development platform on schedule. And so one of the things that they're definitely excited about is that LiDAR. And he goes further in saying that we are prepared and plan to share key performance data with potential customers, partners, or parties interested in a strategic transaction. We expect that a version of this first generation long-range LiDAR sensor after the internal and external validation, reliability, and compliance testing could be available for sale in the initial quantities in the third or fourth quarter of 2021. I want to make sure I got that time right. So they're looking at in third or fourth quarter this year, guys, to get that sale of that LiDAR. As we previously reported, additionally, with the recent completion of the 2 at-the-market equity raises, so they did that at-the-market equity raises, guys, what does that mean? That they raising money. They need money to spend. They want to go ahead and hit that growth hard. That we believe the company is a strong financial position, which enhances our ability to negotiate with potential strategic partners. And so what's the big reason and why you saw that short squeeze, guys? A lot of the reasons why we get short squeezes is because one of the things that happens is when a stock gets heavily shorted, a lot of times you're going to see even the short borrow fee start rising. And so I pay attention to those short borrow fee rates because when you see that just spiking through the roof, there's a reason why, guys. That means that there's a lot of people short and there's not that many shares out there available. And so it takes a brokerage harder to go ahead and just get you those shares. They need to go ahead and find those shares, locate them so that they can let you borrow them to short it. And so that's what you call a short borrow fee rate. And so right now that can cost you anywhere from 20% to 40% the fee. And that's a hefty short fee. So that means that there's still some people shorting this Microvast here. So we definitely need to pay attention to this. And one of the things I'd say is, why do people love this stock so much? Well, a lot of it has to do with this partnership right here with Okosh. You know, one of the things that happened is that for a while there, a lot of people were thinking that all the post office vehicles were going to come from Okosh. because of what was being mentioned. But now, you know, I'm not too sure. Workhorse might get some other companies might get some. Who knows really what's going to happen with that postal contract. If anybody out there in the chat knows what's going to happen with that postal contract, you let me know, guys, because if you do know out there, man, hit me up in the DM, because I've been trying to figure this one out since November of last year. So we don't know where this one's heading. So definitely you got to keep your eyes out on that. Let me go ahead and keep going through here. Get to my next slide here. All right, so really quickly, guys. So this one came from actually a SPAC merger with Tuscan, and one of the things is they're going to go ahead and have 800 million to spend. Where are they going to spend it? Manufacturing facility build out in the US and Europe, fulfillment of customer demand, and of course the good old debt repayment. That's going to be very important. This company does have some debt, but as you see, they mentioned at the equity raises, that's going to help them, guys. That's going to help them get through this. And so the next thing here, guys, who should we focus on? So the co-sponsor is actually somebody that I think we really need to pay attention to. If you look here, this one is really related to IPV, which is Ava, and you really got to focus on these. And there, look at these partnerships. Look, there's Uber, Slack here, Airbnb, and really, I mean, they got a nice management team here. I'm not going to get into too much details, but we like to look at management teams when we check out SPACs. So I wanted to mention their management team. And one of the things that I'd mentioned, guys, is here. So their FPT, this is very important here. They signed an industrial and commercial cooperation agreement. And really what's going to happen is these are going to be built in Berlin, Germany. And that's actually the factory that's going to get up running first. And then you're going to see their next factory get running here. So look at these partnerships. Their research and development, they've been working with BMW. I think that's a big company that they've been working with. You know, we're going to see these bigger automakers really push in their research. And so that's a good one to mention there. Let's keep going here, guys. So their vertical integration, and why do they stand out? They always say that they stand out because they control the components, from the components all the way to the packs. And that's what's important here. So they have, you know, the electrode plants, they have the cell production, they have the module assembly line, and they have the pack production. What does this do? This gives them the faster product development, lets them go ahead and control the cost, and lets them work on what I love looking at, which is margins here, the bottom line, guys. LA Dodgers, I did not mention Microvision. Maybe the caption at the bottom here caught it, but no, we're talking Microvast here. Microvast. Let's keep rolling through here and keep running. So one of the things is, let's go ahead and let's talk about the operational benchmarking here. And so where are we going to compete with? Of course, a famous one right now is Romeo Power. A lot of people got stuck in this one, and so that's what I'd compare it to closely. So Microvast here is talking about their growth, and they're talking about 64% growth in that 2023 versus Romeo's 47%. You know, they include some other companies here, but I wouldn't really compare them too often. I would more compare that Romeo and Microvast. So let's see how they really start stacking up. See if both of these start running. One of the plays that I always like to do is called the laggard play. And so if you see one of them lead the other, maybe that's going to show you that this could keep going. But really, I want to get into what happened here and really what's the story? What made it run? What made it run? It's a meme stock, guys. It's a meme stock. And so when you look here, there's no feelings till buyout, guys. So as you can see here, it's from a picture here. It's hilarious, guys. We have meme stocks and they're here to stay. As you can see, there's a bunch of these guys joining up. AMC, GME, MVIS, Dodge, you know it. Look at the rocket with a little duck on it. You guys already know. This is the generation we're in, guys, and we're loving it. Look at the rocket going up. Hanging teddy bear here, and the meme stocks are here to stay here. All right, guys, so let's keep going through. as you see here, we're going to keep going through. This is going to be MVIS here. And so let's go ahead and let's take a look here at the chart. One of the things that I did point out is that you got that pullback, but you got in that breakout. Let's keep a watch if we can hold 18 and rip through, get back up there towards the high. As you can see, this is the nice pattern. We've gotten the volume. Let's see if we get a continued run here. And so that's going to do it for the story that is Microvast. If you guys want to go ahead and tell me a little bit about what you guys know about MVIS, or if you guys have seen a good meme stock out there, definitely let me know in the comments so that I can check it out and bring it to Money Mitch. Up next, guys, we got a great interview for you guys. Adam Johnson, he's the founder and CEO here of Bullseye Brief, and he's going to give you guys some great picks. Pay attention, get the notes out. He's going to do some picks also. So stay tuned, guys. When we come back, we'll have that interview for you.
Get winning options trades from Benzinga's top option trading expert, Nick Shaheen.
I don't risk money I can't afford to lose. Clearly, conviction is medium, probably at best here, because I'm swinging. I don't have a particular trigger. So it's not like it's gambling. We did homework. We showed fundamental reasons. So it's not like betting, I hope it's red, I hope it's black.
If you're looking to uncover winning options trades, the Benzinga Options Starter newsletter provides you with 2 fully researched trades per month. Each comes with a detailed video, ideal price and expiration date, and profit loss charts to accelerate your learning. If you're ready for high conviction, learn while you earn and subscribe now to Benzinga's Starter Option newsletter.
Welcome back, traders. Welcome back, traders. I got an interview for you guys today. This is someone that I actually found on Twitter watching a video on Walk and Talk on earnings. You guys have heard me mention back to someone that was talking about earnings potentially surprising us and getting up to around an average of 30% surprise. This is exactly what I was talking about. Adam Johnson, the founder and portfolio manager of Bullseye Brief. I'm going to go ahead and bring on my guest. Let's get right to it. All right. Welcome, Adam. How we doing?
Oh, doing great, Money Mitch. Thanks for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Hey, well, first I'd like to say happy late birthday. I saw that your birthday just passed. Hope you had a great one. You know, a lot of the times, especially probably in the pandemic, the year prior, we couldn't go out. But this year, I'm sure you enjoyed it and I had a good time.
Thank you. Yes, it was a great time. It's so great being back out with people. I mean, New York City, which is where I live and work, is coming back so strong. And I got to tell you, Mitch, you know, there's no surprise that GDP is up 7%. There's no surprise that earnings are beating by an average of 30%, which was that number that I shared. Usually they only beat by about 5 or 6%. The world is coming back. It feels good. We're all in this together. We've gotten through it, and there's a lot to be thankful for. There are also a lot of stocks to buy.
All right, Adam, let's get to my first question here. Of course, first thing I like to always do is get a little bit more about you and your background and how I found you. You know, I saw those Walk and Talk videos. I have to say, I love that format. And if you guys, I'll definitely have the link right now in the description below. Check out his Twitter. Check out that format. I think you guys would like it yourself. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Adam.
Oh, thanks, Mitch. So, yeah, these walk and talks that you're talking about is just how I get my head in the game. As I'm walking, down Madison Avenue or maybe through Central Park, I just sort of think, what's happening today that I need to focus on that's also got me fired up? So I just pull out my iPhone and I film myself as I'm sort of walking down the street. And that was how I happened to talk about that one earnings figure that we were talking about. But really what I'm after is finding stocks to buy. I'm a growth investor. Bullseye Brief is an actionable newsletter, bullseyebrief.com. I focus on American Ingenuity, the people and companies driving our world forward. I put out a new stock pick every week. I run a portfolio of about 30 names. Sometimes I get up to 35. And in that weekly note, I also tell people what the catalysts are for all of our names over the upcoming week. I list the trades I think I'm going to be making. And again, it's a new stock pick every week. So a lot of tech, a lot of med tech, a lot of biotech. Again, American ingenuity, the people and companies driving our world forward. And that walk and talk just kind of helps me get my head in the game, Mitch.
Excellent, excellent. So my next question would have to be about growth stocks. I mean, one of the things that we definitely saw was kind of that breakout that we definitely got in 2020. And now the question really is, I mean, some of these have turned into dogs. The question is, are the dogs going to go away, or could they come back barking?
Okay, they will come back barking strong. So I'm long a lot of biotech. Some wonderful, wonderful, exciting biotechnology companies. I will tell you my favorite name in particular is 9 meters, NMTR. Write that one down, do a little bit of work. This is a company that defines growth. The stock is trading at $1. My target is $11. I do believe that is very attainable. The company's running 2 different trials right now, one for something called short bowel syndrome. Cancer patients typically have a chunk of their small intestines removed. That's why they have a shorter bowel. And this drug basically helps them retain food longer so they can absorb that and still stay healthy. That's one of their trials. The other is for a drug that would potentially solve gluten intolerance. Huge. In fact, my $11 target's probably too low. That's a great growth company. Biotech right now, however, has been under the gun because the assumption is that little companies like biotechnology companies constantly need money. They need to go out and raise more money to support their trials. And if interest rates are going up, that's going to make it more expensive for them. So a lot of biotech has fallen 25 to 30%. I think we're actually now at a point where there are a bunch of names, 9 meters, NMTR being one of them, where you can come in and buy. And these are the types of things I try to highlight for my subscribers. So I think, to use your expression, Mitch, these things are going to come barking back strong. So I feel very good about some of the rebounders that we're going to see. Electric vehicles, solar, they've all been hit hard. That's fine. They'll be coming back.
Well, you guys heard it here from Adam. The dogs might come barking, so definitely pay attention to who lets the dog out, right? Who lets the dog out? Woof. So one of the things that I've been seeing is mega cap tech has really seen a rotation. And my question that I asked yesterday, is tech really back? Is the whole sector back? One of the things that we've seen is that rotation in mega. But the question I have to you, is there an area that you see maybe getting stronger and coming back here?
Well, it's sort of fascinating. I mean, aside from the Facebook move off the earnings, if you look at Facebook, Netflix, some of the other sort of big cap tech names, a lot of them have been kind of sideways actually for the past 6, 7, 8, 9 months. I mean, plus or minus 10%. Facebook had been plus or minus 10% until it came out with these strong earnings. So, there's just been this rotation from some of that big stuff that's already moved into some of the more interesting stuff. Look at semiconductors. And, this is just so fascinating because semiconductors back in 2018 were like biotechs today. They got knocked down and nobody wanted to buy them. I bought them. I bought AMAT. I bought Qualcomm, Qorvo, NXP. Again, different stock pick every week for my bullseyebrief.com subscribers. And we had to be patient back in 2018, but all of a sudden the semiconductors came to life. They are certainly alive right now. Take a look at NXPI. Actually, that one is starting to percolate once again. Qorvo, Qualcomm. Again, I'm just, you know the names, Mitch. But that's what happens. Biotech is sort of unloved right now, just as and will come back just as the semiconductors were unloved in 2018, have come ripping back. Oil was unloved last year, has come ripping back. And I think you just have to be aware of the big picture. You really do.
Yeah, one of the things I always say, Adam, is there's waves to this game, and sometimes you have to wait for that wave to come back roaring. One of the recent waves that I've seen is a value-oriented stock market. Do you think this wave is here to stay, or do you think this is just kind of a momentary lapse in judgment here?
No. There's always a place for value. I have a couple of value names in the portfolio. Energy Transfer, ticker ET, which is the largest operator of pipelines in this country, controls about 30% of the pipeline capacity. This is my 7 and 7 trade. It trades at $7, although actually today it just broke above 8, but has been trading around $7 and yields 7%. I got my bullseyebrief.com subscribers into ET almost a year ago, down around $4.50. And, you know, here we are now at $8. That's a value play, and it's going to keep going. My target is about $15. So there's always a place for value. There's always an opportunity to find a cheap stock. I know that sometimes value can be a trap, but that's one I like. Boston Properties, ticker BXP, the largest owner, operator, and developer of super high-end real estate around the country. You know, Class A office space is still a value play down at you know, $110. My target there is $150. It's trading reasonably, and guess what? 96% of their tenants are paying their rents on time. That's a great value play. So you know, I could name a few others, but Wynn Resorts. I mean, they're all out there. Take a look at the cruise lines. I'm sure some of the subscribers and listeners on with us right now probably have already looked at the cruise lines. That's a value play. You know, you're putting assets to work.
Definitely. Like I always say, there's an opportunity somewhere. You just have to go looking. So one of the things that we've seen, and I even took a hit. So, you know, so we got to admit sometimes when we take a hit, I took a hit on Sol, which is a solar stock. But I wanted to talk to you. You know, one of the things I've seen solar stocks being beaten up. You know, we do have a kind of a good presidency right now for the solar stocks. Can you explain me what do you think about solar stocks here? You know, I still see a bunch of them near that support. What do you think here?
I actually just wrote up Sonova. There's my Bullseye brief.com report on Sonova. The company reported earnings yesterday, and they missed ever so slightly. I mean, we're talking like by about $1 million on a base of about 50 million. And this is a company that installs solar systems in homes, both new and old homes. And it's really an exciting company, and unlike the competition, because they use outside contractors. So whereas maybe you've heard of Sunrun, which is a competitor out in California that, you know, employs like 8,000 people. Sonova, by contrast, has 384 employees, which is why the margins are so much higher. I mean, the average revenue per employee at Sonova is like $575,000 versus about $100,000 at some of the other installers. Again, because the installers aren't actually on the payroll. So that gives them a huge advantage. They've also partnered with Tesla. So if not only do you want to install your $15,000 to $20,000 solar panel system up on the roof and then the converters in your garage, you can also, for about another $12,000, get the sort of wall-mounted Tesla battery that will enable you to store all that energy that comes in from the sun. It stores right there on the sidewall in your garage. And when you have a surplus, you can even sell it back to the utility. So Sonova, exciting company. Traded down slightly today. It's right at the 200-day moving average. If you're a chart guy, I'm sure you'll appreciate that, or a chart gal. I've just bought some more, and my target is $66. So, you know, we're talking about buying a company around 35 that I think can go to 66. It's almost a double. There are 13 analysts who cover this name. All 13 say buy the stock, and the average target, I think, puts it around 62. So I'm slightly above average. I don't, Mitch, think I've ever seen a stock where there are 13 analysts and all 13 say buy. So Sonova, ticker NOVA. That's a bullseye pick, and certainly one for our subscribers.
All right, guys, you guys heard it here from Adam. Definitely check out Sonova. But one of the things that I'd mentioned that you were talking about, and it's specifically what I was talking about when I covered Tesla's earnings, was that power wall and how the demand is just driving so far past the production right now. So I'm going to be watching as they try to meet that demand. I heard in Tesla's report, you know, they mentioned that for a second there, they were giving it out to their solar customers only. And then one of the things that they mentioned is that they're going to get it back out to everyone. So I'm really excited to see how that really takes off. And, you know, one of the things that we're getting into is kind of hurricane season down there in Florida. So I think you probably are going to see a couple people think about installing one of these power walls. So we'll take a look. And one of the things that I'd mention, Adam, is that you are very much like me. And I can see that you're very paid attention to the story of the stock. What's
Yes.
behind it, and really what drives it. And I love how you mentioned for that solar stock, the difference in employees and how that could really make a difference at the bottom line for those margins. So
yeah.
one of the things that I want to mention is that, you mentioned you have those 3 defining attributes, a great story, a compelling data, and that news catalyst. It's a lot of what I kind of mentioned in my story stock strategy. So explain to me a little bit more about how you use that. And then also, is there any story stock that we got to pay attention to right now?
Oh God, there are a lot of story stocks right now. I mean, where do I begin? Look at Teladoc today, which was down 10% on an incredibly powerful earnings report. Yes, I know there are some people who said, well, the revenues were light. I mean, really, the revenues doubled. The number of enrollees tripled, and the guidance implies another doubling of revenues. Teladoc, I mean, in case you don't happen to know what Teladoc is, which is fair, we can't know every name, but I mean, right, the largest network now of doctors that are on your phone. So it's an incredibly powerful story. I mean, we're all plugged into what's happening, and that's part of the newsy catalyst. So we talk about a great story. Here's Teladoc, the largest network of doctors around the world. That's just a great story because it's bringing immediate care to the masses at a fraction of the cost. $25 typically is the copay if your company has an agreement with Teladoc. Now, all of a sudden on your phone, you're talking to a doctor. You say, oh my gosh, the dog bit my hand. Okay, let me see it. You hold up your hand, you turn your phone, and now he's looking at it. Incredible. So that's the story. Data that supports the thesis. Point number 2. Well, I just told you that they're doubling revenues. Not only did they double revenues this past quarter, they're on track to double revenues for the year. Number of enrollees is tripling. I mean, that's incredible. There are now 54 million people on the platform. That's very powerful. And then there's the newsy catalyst, right? The thing that we're all talking about, which is how do we get care if we're at home? How do we get care to be healthier in our lives? That's preventative care. And how do we use data to try to reduce our healthcare costs? Well, Teladoc can help you with all of those. And it's a wonderful, wonderful story stock. So, yep. You want to find a great story, you want to find data that supports the thesis, and you want to find a newsy hook where we're all kind of talking about it anyway, and that becomes part of the catalyst. Those 3 things are true of almost all of my bullseye picks, whether they're in med tech, biotech, technology. American Ingenuity is about growth, and growth inevitably is going to attract all 3 of those crucial components: a great story, data that supports the thesis, and a newsy hook.
Well, Adam, I love it. I love it. I have to say, I definitely do love it. The reason why I always talk about my 3, I'm talking about stories, fundamentals, and technicals.
Love
and
it.
It seems very much that, we like to stay with the news flow. And it's very important to stay with the recent trends. And when you can stay with the recent trends, then you can really do that deep research to find that compelling data and to see if that news catalyst is really going to come into play. So I really appreciate you taking the time with me here on our interview today. Where could my viewers find you if they want to go ahead and look up Adam Johnson?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at AJ Insight, and you can see some of those walk and talks there. You can find me on LinkedIn, or you can just go to bullseyebrief.com. That's my investment letter. Again, the home of American Ingenuity. And if I may, Money Mitch, just mention that I have a 45-day trial for $45. So it's $1 a day. You can find out all the stocks that I'm long. Talk to me. If you have a particular stock that you want me to look at, what I'll do is run it through my Bullseye rating system. This is something I've done. It's just basically 10 categories. Takes me about 6 or 7 minutes to basically get a snapshot of a stock. 50 is a perfect score. Nobody gets a 50. Apple's only a 35. But generally, if I run a stock through my initial screen right here, and I can find 25 or 30 points out of a potential 50, I do a deep dive. I get to know it. And yeah, come find me at bullseyebrief.com. And if you want to know about a certain stock, send me the ticker and I'll tell you what I think. I'll rate it 1 through 50.
Well, Adam, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. I will definitely keep watching those walk and talks and stay up with you. I hope to have you back on Money Mitch, and thank you for joining me.
Have me anytime. Love being with you, Mitch. Thank you.
All right, guys, you guys heard it here. And now let's get to our.
When you want to maximize your performance in the market, you need access to the highest quality tools and news available. Benzinga Pro stands out from all of the options you'll be presented with, and their instant access to market-moving news positions you to be prepared to take on the market in the best ways possible. Here's how it works. Benzinga Pro's news desk creates original news content that's available on your main news feed and gives you actionable information about companies you may want to invest in. This news desk information gives you the chance to beat the market, receive impactful news as it breaks, and jump on trending stocks before and as they rise. And beyond that, Benzinga Pro is packed with helpful features and unique insights that give you the best information possible. There's tools like the Live Audio Squawk, which streams every day with important news and timely updates, and the real-time news alerts that allow you to stay on top of every developing story you're keeping tabs on. Alerts and news will be sent straight to your inbox or delivered as live sound alerts. For those investors that want real-time, actionable, and breaking news about companies they may be looking to invest in, Benzinga Pro is the tool to use.
Welcome back, traders. How we doing? I hope that you enjoyed that interview as much as I enjoyed it. And one of the things that I definitely say is that you saw there the 3 variable approach. I always talk about my 3 variables for the story stocks, but as you can see, Adam is kind of approaching it in a similar manner. And this is really what I wanted to point out. And I really love how Adam really approaches his stock picks. So, hey, maybe there's something to learn from, guys. If I like that strategy and Adam likes that strategy, maybe check it out, guys. 3 variables. Find what works for you. You know, my 3 variables are the story, the fundamentals, and the technicals to get my timing in the trade. But definitely, as you can see, compelling data. He uses the story, and then he follows the news catalyst and the news flow. And I think this is very important to learn from, guys. Anybody can learn from this. So definitely, if you got some value there, hit the like button. Let's get up to our like goal, guys. We got a like goal today of 100 likes. Tomorrow, if we do get to the 100 likes, I'm going to go ahead and pop open my Woodford, get a little whiskey on for happy hour here. And we're going to do a little bit more kind of relaxed happy hour Fridays. So I want to do it with you guys, but I need that 100 likes. If not, there will be no show tomorrow, guys. Money Mitch. We want to have a show tomorrow, guys. We got to get to our like goal. We're at 75 right now. We're almost there, guys. We need 24 more. Let's get into the stories, stocks here, guys. And so first up, guys, we want to talk about sports betting. Sports betting. I know that you guys have done it. Please put a 1 in the chat if you've done some sports betting this year or the year prior. I know I have. I use them all. MGM bets. I use DraftKings. I use Rush. I use them all, guys. And one of the things that I recommend is use those promos wisely, because if you use the promos wisely, a lot of the times you got risk-free bets. And then when you use that risk-free bet, let's say you don't hit it, you get that money right back. Just make sure that you're picking some wise decisions. You should be able to make some money. I can tell you right now, guys, that's how I buy my sports jersey. Is a little sports gambling. I use a little, like, you know, I start with a $20 bet, maybe work my way up to about $300 and then pull it out, go buy a jersey. You can't be mad about that. Let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about PENN. I know if you guys know about PENN, who do you know about? You know about Dave Portnoy. I mean, this is the guy that's really driven up PENN stock. If you were watching in the summer, you guys saw him with the green hammer, just hammering down, telling everybody to get those suits out of the way. And you guys saw it. And one of the things I'd point out, look at this picture in the top right. 100. I'm thinking we get to that 100. I'm thinking we're going to get back to that 100. As of late, you know, we've been close to those 90s. And one of the things I'd want to point out is that on April 27th, Penn National Gaming shares are trading higher after the Needham initiated coverage on the stock with a buy rating of 100 $151 per share. This is the important part, guys. It's not really the date. I mean, because, you know, it's a couple of days back, but really the key here is $151 per share target. That's way over the $100. That's not the 100. That's 50% over that. So definitely, guys, keep your eyes out for PENN as they keep taking over. And one of the things that PENN does is they're very similar to kind of DraftKings, but one of the things that they do is they have the social aspect. That social aspect really takes them over, guys, because at the end of the day, guys, we want to see some content with our betting. We want to be kind of in an app that really makes it fun and entertaining to bet. And I think that's really what PENN has done. You know, the Barstool app is something else, and they're leaders. They're leaders in this industry. But let's go to one of my favorite picks. And before we do that, let's take a look here at the chart. I know we want to take a look at PENN Gaming here, and you got this 90 here that's getting that support right now, but I think we might get a move even closer towards this 80, but I think we can get back above 100. So when we got this drive, right, it seems like someone sold big here around the 18th, you know, took some profit around 110. That's that big green bar that you're seeing there. And I think, you know, this company is just going to continue moving on up, as you've seen what I've been talking about on SPAX Attack, which is as revenues from state to state hit the bottom line, because they can't really add it to their revenue because they don't know what states are going to go legal and at what time. So that's really important here. I think as you see those states to state coming in, let's say Florida coming in later this year, you're going to see this stock up there, guys. I think you get to that price target that Needham gave, $151. Let's go. Let's get it ripping on up there. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna jump in on that one. $151 per PENN by the end of the year here, guys. That's what I'm gonna say. By the end of the year, in quarter 3 and quarter 4, where I expect the biggest growth because of the NFL season. Just wait for the NFL season, guys. I think that's when you see PENN really start get moving. So just watch that, and we'll take care of that. Right now, you're seeing a little bit of a drop down. A lot of it, I think, has to do with kind of the cyclicalness of sports. And so one of the things that you're seeing is, I think when football died down, you know, you get this February spike, and then we didn't really get further from that. Let's see if we can go ahead and let's get back to a support and push back up there while the NFL season starts approaching. And I know that you guys are probably watching the draft tonight. You guys already know. What's going on? What's going on? Do we got a little spammer? What's up? What's up, Eden? Oh, good Lord, Eden. Eden, I love you, dude. I love you, dude, but I'm going to put you on a timeout just so you can leave everybody alone. I got no problem with it. I got no problem with you pushing me, Eden, but let's leave some value there in the chat. All right, let's keep going through here, guys. I want to give you guys my favorite sports betting stock. And so my favorite sports betting stock is going to be RSI, guys. And why RSI? Because, you know, one of the things first is that Nicola Damasi, CEO behind these companies and behind DMY Technologies, he's a winner, man. You just look at all the SPACs that he's done, guys. I think this guy knows exactly what he's doing. But let's talk a little bit more about RSI and why I like it. You know, one of the things that I'd state here also is Needham did also rate this one a buy and announced a $22 price per share. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about what Rush Street really has under their belt. Most people think of Rush Street as just like sports betting, but they're really more of a casino play. You know, they have betrivers.com, which is a sports book and casino, but really they have Sugar House. Sugar House is one of the best casino ones. And then rushbet.com, .co, which is in Colombia. So they actually have some international exposure, not that just like the United States exposure, which is important, guys, to help them out with their diversification. And so we compare them to DraftKings, GAN, or GNOG. A lot of people like to compare it to. So right here, guys, you can clearly see one of the things that I'd point out is look at this revenue growth. Look at that 35, 17, 36, 65, 65. And I'm going to point that out again. There's a reason why that's there, guys. That's almost double these numbers that you're seeing from the competitors. And then if you look at the multiple there, 5.4 times versus all the other ones showing a higher multiple there. Definitely pay attention to that. I think that's a big key in why I like RSI. Now, one of the things that most people don't know is that they do have that leading operator in Colombia. And so they're well positioned in Latin America to expand. Maybe they expand to different countries. Maybe they go to Brazil. Maybe they go to Chile. Maybe they go to Argentina. Maybe they expand a little bit further there. Now, one of the things that they have been, they're first to launch online gaming in Pennsylvania, Illinois, here, Colorado. You guys know where I am in Colorado. And of course, they also launched retail sports betting in Illinois and Pennsylvania. And one of the things that I am going to pay attention to is New York. New York is not included in this because it wasn't there yet. But New York is so important, guys. They are leaders there, and I'm going to pay attention to how that develops. I know that a lot of people are looking for what skins are going to come out. So if you don't know what skins are, you might need to do a little bit more research in sports betting, but definitely check it out, guys. I think this is one that's going to be a winner. One of the things that I'd state is they have 16.7% of the casino market share. And the casino market is actually predicted to be bigger than the online sports betting. So that's what most people don't understand, the kind of differences here between online casino and online sports betting market. So definitely, guys, if you appreciate or like any of these, let me know in the chat, because I want to see who likes PENN, who likes RSI, which one do you like more? And we'll keep going through. Let me show you guys the chart here, because I think you guys need to see this RSI chart and how it's setting up. And so when we look at the RSI chart, you can clearly see that there's this nice support here around this $13 that it pushed up above. Now I want to see it hold this 1350 area. It's kind of near that line, that 1358, but I want to see it hold 1350. And it did that pullback today and then get right back above. Really, if it gets above 14, that's where I was thinking about getting in. I am not invested in this one right now, but charts like this get me excited, guys. When you have that consolidation, you have multiple bottom looks. You know, you have a bottom here around this early March time, early April, and then now the end of April, really giving you that reversal look here with three bottoms right next to each other with big volume, showing you that there's some big buying stepping up there. I think that you see Rush Street back up at 25, if not at the end of the year, above $30. So that's going to be my pick here and my favorite pick in sports betting and online casino plays here. Definitely check it out, guys. That's Rush Street Interactive RSI. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get into the housing stocks. I want to go ahead and flow through this. It looks like I'm overtime. I'm in overtime. Do we get 100 likes to keep me going into the housing stocks? I got two stocks here. You guys see one here, Zillow, but I got one that's even better. That's my favorite pick in this, but I need the 100 likes to continue. If not, I'm going to wrap up today's show right here as we're getting towards that hour right now, already 7 o'clock here. We don't have a show up next, so I can go to overtime, but we need those likes to get to 100. Looks like we have over 143 people watching. So if you guys want me to continue, hit that like. I'll give it another 2 minutes here, but it looks like we're at 91. We need 9 more likes so that I can get into the housing stocks here that are right behind me. Smash the like. You guys already know 93. We need 7 more. Where are the Money Mitch fans? Where are the Story Stock fans? If you guys want to get some trading picks, we need to get a couple likes here, guys. So definitely, like Bourne says, smash that like button. Support me as I support you guys. Yes. And Bourne. I don't know where my Dolphin sweater is, but I was wearing it all day. Let's go, Miami. 99, 101. And guess who's back? Eden is back, guys. Eden is back, and he's not hiding no more. He said 101. 101. Eden, just keep the likes on the low now. We'll keep you there. I'll leave you there, my friend. I appreciate the love. Let's get into these housing stocks here, guys. Okay, so we're going to talk Zillow here, guys. Zillow is really, really one of the leading ones. I mean, if you have to pick a winner, like I picked PENN as a leader, this is the leader right here, guys. This is Zillow. And I mean, if you look at their chart, it's been pulling back massively. And I've put out a price target of 200 on this stock. But I want to explain a little bit more about what Zillow is and the differences between the two stocks that I'm going to tell you about. So first is Zillow, right? So Zillow's group is actually going to announce first quarter results on May 4th. So pay attention to that, guys. Next week, we get Zillow Group. So if you pay attention, you're going to see that in their quarter 4, they reported $789 million in revenue. They have 201 million average monthly unique users. So how many people are hitting up the page? And they had 2.2 billion visits completely in quarter 4 2020. They have 135 million homes in their living database, and they only have 5,500 employees. So they manage all this with a company of 5,500 employees. But really, Zillow has 3 segments here. It's home, internet, media and technology, and mortgages. And as a reminder, Zillow's IMT, their media and technology, the segment that primarily delivers revenue from allowing agents to advertise their property on its website, that's really the one that you got to pay attention to, guys. That's the one that stands out. If you pay attention, you're going to see that the growth is actually grown by approximately 29% in Q1 of 2021. And so that's what we're going to be paying attention to see in their earnings report. Look at that. That's the one that's been growing the most in their business. And really, at the end of the day, Zillow is trying to become a little bit more than just the website that you use to find the houses. They actually want to buy, sell, and go a little bit further. And so, today, in today's consumer, we've really seen kind of more of this demand from a digital perspective than, let's say, a paper kind. We've had this digital transformation, and I don't think this digital transformation is going by anytime soon. It's gonna be here for a long time. And so one thing that I can mention, and I'm just keeping an eye on Eden for you. Eden, I see you. All right, guys. So one of the things that you normally have to do is when you put up a house, there's so much that goes involved, whether it's an inspector, a mortgage lender, appraisal, title, escrow, insurer, and then all that to just move into a new home. What Zillow is trying to do is make this process not complicated. And what do they have? They have 197 million monthly users that go on here, and they have 15 years of experience in this industry. This company was led by CEO Razkov that I loved from Supernova, that actually got a different company that we'll talk about in another Money Mitch. But let's go ahead and let's talk about why I like Opendoor versus Zillow here. There's a reason why I like it, guys. So just for context, Zillow here sold 923 properties in Q4 of 2020 compared to its peer Opendoor, which sold 9,913 properties over the same time frame. You see those numbers? Those numbers don't lie, guys. 923 compared to that 9,913. Definitely, there's a reason why I'm picking Opendoor as my leader here, guys. So let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about what Opendoor is, guys. Opendoor is the digital behind it, guys. It's completely digital. Trade in your home. Go on it. You guys will see that you guys can get an appraisal in, I think, 60 minutes on your house. And I think that's something that you never saw before in this industry. And so there's a new experience, right? You got the self-tour homes. You got financing in the app. digital offer process. You can do everything in the app on your phone. And this is what the consumer is really asking for here. And so to sell with Open Door, you get instant offers and get paid. You get to skip showings and repair and move on your schedule. And their latest is listing with Open Door and maximizing your sale price. Save on the fees. Expertise at every step. From setting the right price to getting support from local experts in the industry. That's what Door is doing right now. Open Door is doing right now. And so one of the things that I would talk about is their plan. What are they going to get to? What's the future? We got to know what's the future, right? And so our current playbook takes us to 50 billion in revenue, guys. 50 billion is no joke here, guys. That would be 4% only of the market share. So it's not like they're stating that they're going to get 60% of the market share and they're going to just claim everything. No. They're saying that in 100 markets, 4% of that market share and get $50 billion looking forward into kind of this move into their playbook. That's what they're doing, guys. And I think they're going to accomplish this. We got to keep an eye on it, but definitely I think they are going to accomplish this. So keep your eyes out on Open Door as we continue to see them move forward in their stock. One of the things that I'd state is that Open Door is gotten to the point where they've done 388,000 offer requests. You heard that right, guys. 388,000 requests for these offers. Every 60 seconds, a homeowner requests an offer from Open Door. And so that's what you guys got to definitely stick out. Watch this company as they develop. I think that you're going to see Open Door really lead in this nice kind of revolution. And with that being said, you guys could keep your eyes out on that company that I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit of a bag holder in SPNV, but I think in the long run, that one's also going to compete with these companies, but that's a very long-term approach. Open Door is the now stock. I'm going to keep an eye out on Open Door. I like the way it's looking on the chart. I wanted to pull up the chart right now. So just give me 1 second here. All right, guys, I'm going to pull up the chart here for you guys and do a little technical analysis here. All right, go ahead and go full screen here for you. There you go, guys. So what I'm going to show you guys here is what I see here in Open, right? And so one of the things is we can clearly see, guys, support, right? Long-term support here near that 16. Then we came up. And we have this other level up here, kind of this 24 level, right? And so one of the things that I want to see is, can we get back to this trend line? And for you guys that use Benzinga Pro, definitely Alt-T will get you a trend line. And then you can just draw your trend line. And this is what I'm seeing, guys. So one of the things that I want to see is that, can we hold this 20 and get back up through that 24? That 24 needs some volume, but we did get volume down here at the support, where it was long-term support back here from the 4th of November and also the 24th and 23rd week. And so that support got bought up for that long-term move, and now it's pushing back up. Can we get it past this Harmy candle? So you see, this is what you call a Harmy. Can we get it back above that and through that 24 with some volume? That could get it back up towards that 38, 40 look and maybe get a potential move to 50. So definitely check that out, guys. That could definitely get a big move there, a big runner, and that's Open Door there, guys. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us on Money Mitch today. If you guys want to give me some feedback, definitely let me know. I'm going to be here tomorrow opening up my whiskey. Stick around, guys. We're going to do more on Money Mitch. We're going to be going into some fun time tomorrow, so come in. I'll look at stocks for you. I can do this technical analysis. I might have a little whiskey in my hand, so it might get a little rowdy in here. I want to invite some of you guys on here. So let me know if you guys want to come on the show tomorrow on Money Mitch, hit me up in the comments. Let me know the email. I will reach out to you, or Twitter, and then we'll get you on right here in my screen back here, guys. So let's have some fun. I do want to give a correction here. You got to man up sometimes when you do a mistake here. So between the two companies here, THCB and Microvast, I made a mistake and error here early in the story, but I hope you guys appreciated my sports bet and my housing approach. So I just want to man up to it. One thing is for certain, when you make mistakes, you got to man up to it. So anybody, hit me up afterwards. We all make the mistakes, but one of the things that I will do is keep doing the research to bring you these story stocks. And if you guys have been looking at my story stock Vizio, VZIO, that's been looking good. So I feel like I've been doing great for the year, and I'm going to keep doing great for you guys. Money Mitch here. Like always, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe down below. Hit me up, Story Investors. I'll see you next time. And always remember, guys, the bull market is here to stay, and there's an opportunity in this market for you guys. And Money Mitch is here to help you find it. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. A happy hour, Money Mitch.